Hello viewers, this is Saptarshi here. So you are watching the first episode of the Arunachal series which I had documented a month back when I covered from Kolkata to Arunachal Pradesh on a motorcycle. So in this episode, you are going to watch me cover distances from Kolkata till Siliguri, or the plan which was till Siliguri but which did not happen, which you will find out obviously. So it was around 557 kilometers from Kolkata, but yeah, anyways. Well, as far as preparation for the motorcycle was concerned, I did not do much. I just did some basic check and maintenance towards it. Did not do much mods to it. I knew Arunachal Pradesh is going to be a tough terrain, but yeah, I wanted to take a stock bike over there. So yeah, as far as that is concerned, that's that. So it's 8:30 in the morning and the motorcycle is completely decked up, as you can see. Running a bit late by I guess a couple of hours, so yeah, hopefully I will make it. Initial plan was from Kolkata to Siliguri, and the planning was that I should reach Siliguri by 7:30 or 8, but right now it's looking around maybe 10 or 10:30, so let's see. There will be very less fuel stops, so yeah, see you on the highway. So this is what you get when you start late, especially in a big city like Kolkata. Oh fuck it, early morning traffic, I hate it. So we are almost at the edge of the city right now. A fellow rider, have to be careful in these roads with these trucks and buses. They generally don't see bikes as a friendly neighbor, so yeah, have to keep distances from them. Otherwise this road is extremely flat and straight. I guess it is one of the most straightest road in India. The roads of NH2 is simply brilliant. I love riding over here. Currently I am riding through this industrial belt. You can see major industries over here, from cement, coal to petroleum. I don't know what all are there over there. So this entire stretch from Kolkata to Durgapur, I'm going to encounter a lot of these industries on both sides of the highways. And also the fact that Chota Nagpur Plateau, which is the Jharkhand, Bihar and parts of West Bengal, western West Bengal, so that's the Chota Nagpur Plateau, so it's rich in minerals. So obviously whatever mining takes place over there, it comes directly to these industries over here. Nothing major, just a small water break. Today is going to be an industrious day, non-stop riding. As it is, I am running late, so it's going to be a non-stop running race. Oh, lorries and lorries. This one is going a bit fast. Have to be careful around him. If you can see towards my left, there are a lot of farms, from rice, paddy to vegetables, a lot of farms. This area which I am driving through, and being close to the river Ganga and also to the Gangetic Plains, so this area is extremely fertile. You can see the contrast over here. I mean, farms on the left side, paddy fields, rice farms and industries to the right. Complete contrast. So the local cops are escorting some politician over here. So I have taken a very smart route over here, so I am just following the politician's car right now. So they are making way for both of us right now. So by that way, I guess I won't have to face the traffic all around. So this is how it feels to be a politician on Indian roads. You get free escorts like this. Move away! Yeah, wait, common people. The state highways over here in this part, post Bardhaman, is pretty average. If you compare to other state highways, I mean from other states like Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, even Madhya Pradesh, yeah, they have excellent state highways. But yeah, over here it's pretty average. Not the best, but again not the worst. I have seen worse than this. For example, Bihar. Yeah, I don't want to comment anything more, but yeah, there are worse than this. This might not be the best state highway to drive on, but certainly is one of the best to look at. Yeah, right through rural Bengal. Greenery, villages, rusticness all around. अरे भाई मेरे ফেলবে ঠিক আছে মেরে ফেল Okay, so a few moments back I suppose I was complaining about the state highways, but over here again this part of the state highway is excellent. Yeah, it might not have any dividers or any railings to protect against any unwarranted civilians coming onto the path, but still the roads are very smooth without much bumps. But yeah, there are assholes like this all around, like the one you just now saw. Okay, so this is an rice mill. Nice. So I'm guessing whatever rice that is cultivated over here, it's brought down over here for the thatching process, which is done mechanically, and then the rice is then transported to the bigger cities all around the place. Okay, so I see a line of lorries standing by. I don't know why. What's the reason? কিসের জন্য দাঁড় করিয়েছে? ওই মোদি আসছে বলছে। মোদি এখানে আসছে আজকে? কোথায়? এখানে কালনা কোথায় আসছে? আচ্ছা আচ্ছা। So there's an rally over here of our honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, somewhere ahead. So that's why they have stopped all the lorries over here. I guess obviously to control the traffic over there. Mr. Modi का भी आज दर्शन हो जाएगा फिर. The hell. I'm really beginning to hate this road. Pain in the ass. Basically can't let your guard down in this road. Always have to keep the concentration on. There are good patches, but there are rough patches like this. And by rough patches I mean some long ones for maybe 30-40 kilometers, even more. Man, what the fuck? Finally, I guess I will be touching a national highway again. Whew. Can't wait for national highway. Fuck man, this state highways has taken a toll on me. What the fuck are you doing, man? Okay, Farakka to the left, Shiliguri to the left, Malda to the left. So I know which route to take now. জায়গাটার নাম শেখ দিঘি। আচ্ছা, মুর্শিদাবাদ ডিস্ট্রিক্ট। মুর্শিদাবাদ। এখানে খালি ধান ফানি চাষ হয় নাকি? ধান ফানি চাষ। ধান, সরষে, গম, তাছাড়া অন্য কিছু নয়। এই এমনই এলাকা কি লোকের পয়সার সমস্যা। পয়সার সমস্যা? পয়সার সমস্যা। কেন লোকের হাতে পয়সা নাই, গরিব মানুষ ধান নিয়ে কারবার টেলারের কাজ করে। আচ্ছা, টেলারের কাজ। Well, what can I say about the guy? Obviously, the COVID has affected him and also the people of Murshidabad and its rural areas a lot. Not only Murshidabad, a lot of people in rural India and all over India. So like many, he is telling that the people in his areas has not received much financial help from the government. So obviously the industries in Murshidabad like the textile and the farming has taken a hit because of COVID, and many people like him are really dependent on those industries. So you can understand the situation over there. So yeah, anyways, It was sad to know, but yeah, let's move on. So I am, I guess, approx 60 kilometers away from Farakka barrage. So yeah, this is the first major stop which I have taken. Actually, a bit of backache prompted me to take this stop, otherwise I would not have stopped over here. But yeah, let's see. Hope for the best. When I entered the Murshidabad district, from then on the roads have drastically, seriously improved till now. And from the locals, what I have heard is that the roads are going to remain like this, more or less like this, with minor hiccups here and there. So yeah, finally all the cursing and everything has taken a good toll, I guess. I think this is the Farakka toll, Baharampur Farakka toll, yeah. So the Farakka barrage should be somewhere maybe 25 kilometers ahead or 30 kilometers ahead. Quick facts about Farakka barrage. So it's one of the largest barrages in India, I guess probably the largest, and one of the largest in the world as well, I guess. And as far as its creation is concerned, it was, I think, created in 1975. It was completed in 1975, and it plays a major role, major political and strategic role between India and Bangladesh, because according to the India-Bangladesh water treaty, the water of Ganga, which is divided in Farakka barrage, so India gets 50% of the share of the Ganga water from there, and the rest 50% goes to Bangladesh. So the barrage acts as a holding point in holding back the water for India. Okay, so this is the mighty Farakka barrage, 2.27 kilometers long. Damn. On my left is the rail line, I suppose. Yeah, you can easily identify. On the left, the water level of Ganges is really high. You don't see any banks, maybe over there at the corner, but on the right, yeah, it's pretty dried up. Well, that's because on the left side is the Indian bank and on the right side is the Bangladeshi bank. So obviously the Ganga flows from India towards Bangladesh, and the barrage is holding the water over there. So obviously it's understandable why the Indian bank has more water as compared to the Bangladesh ones. So anyways, let's move on. Okay, so all this traffic which you are seeing right now is because of the limited entry into the Farakka barrage. I mean through the Farakka barrage, that's why. It's a bit complicated now. It's like a maze of vehicles over here. Okay, so I think I have entered Malda. Yeah, it's written over there, Malda District Police. So obviously it's going to be Malda. And surprise, surprise, no mask. I see no mask anywhere. No one is wearing a single mask over here. I guess this is a COVID-free zone. Let's see if I can find a place to eat. I haven't had lunch today and it's almost 4:30. Oh my god. So guys, I found a Spider-Man over here, but I guess Peter Parker has grown a little older.
A few moments later.
So it's 5 p.m. and this is my first major halt. So I am right outskirts of Malda, I guess. So I did not stop in Malda because whatever hotel I was going into, it was too crowded, and whenever I stopped somewhere, people were just gathering around over there. I don't know why, because maybe I'm wearing all this gear and all that stuff, so I maybe new over here, I don't know, but yeah, they were gathering around a lot. So thought of avoiding the congestion over there and came over here. Maybe a makeshift type of dhaba only for truckers. So yeah, but at least it is less crowded right now. and eating this bhujia and some chapatis. That's it. I was extremely hungry, so whatever they gave me, I just told them just give me anything you want. So yeah, they gave me this. 5:45, almost 6. So I'm still near Malda, and Shiliguri looks like it's 6 hours drive from here, and I'm thinking about not going there actually tonight because it's of no use, because again tomorrow morning I have to again get up early and go for Guwahati, so which is another 13-14 hours from there. And one more thing is that the distance from here till Shiliguri, so the roads are fairly good enough, but post Raiganj there are no big cities or any big towns over there. For security and safety reasons, many have advised me not to ride over there at night, so I have decided against it. So I am thinking that I will take a halt at Raiganj, which is another 86 kilometers from here. So let's see if I can find a hotel over there. Well, post Malda I did not record much because obviously it was dark and the GoPro would have not been able to capture much, and also there was fog all around in northern Bengal. Northern Bengal obviously faces fog issues during winter and end of winter seasons, but yeah, that's a different story. So I halted at Raiganj, which is around maybe 400 kilometers from Kolkata. Yeah, that was the distance, but according to the Google Maps, which is right now showing that it would have taken me around 9 hours to reach Raiganj, but yeah, I started maybe 9:30 and reached there around 8:39 in the night. So it took me almost 12 hours to reach Raiganj. So you can understand the conditions of the roads in some parts of West Bengal, especially the state highways. So anyways, this is the end for today's episode. Hope you all enjoyed it, and next day, obviously for the next episode, I will be making my way from Raiganj till Guwahati. So I will be covering through Doers Plain, right through some tough bridges, as you all can see. But yeah, it is going to be a fun journey. So hopefully you all will watch the second episode as well. Thank you. So initially I thought these truckers were having vodka over here, but later on I realized no, it was desi